Hello and welcome. Hi, my name is Colette Ellis, Coach Colette, and I am excited to be sharing some information with you tonight about the new pilot of my Start Within, Finish Strong online course. It's a 7-week course focusing on resiliency for women leaders. And I'm really excited to share just some background, some context, some information that will hopefully help you to decide if this program is the right fit for you. So I want to give, for those of you that may not have met me here in New York City in person or are not familiar with me online, again, I'm Coach Colette. My last name is Ellis, and I am founder of InStep Consulting and also creator of the Start Within coaching program. And my mission in life is to help women to thrive and to succeed and to reconnect to your inner passion, your inner joy, your inner wisdom, so that you can speak up and act from a place of intention and integrity. And I do that in a number of different ways, including this online course that I'm going to be speaking with you about tonight. I am also a certified stress management coach, as well as an EFT or tapping practitioner. And I will be including tapping techniques and tips in this online course because I think it's a really, really helpful mind-body tool and technique that can help us to release and let go of stress and anxiety and so many of the things that hold us back from being all that we can be and being our full true selves. So that's just a little information about me, and I'm really excited to just dive in and give you more background, more context, as well as a bird's eye overview of what this program is going to be all about. And I really want to start off with getting grounded, getting focused, getting centered. So whether you are here watching live or if you are watching this as a recording, just take that moment to unwind, I was going to say unrelax, but to relax and just get present. And I will let you know that my intention today is to be present, to hold space for you and for all that you want to create as you consider whether or not to accept the mission to enhance and improve your resiliency. So know that I'm here, that I'm holding space, that I see you, even though I can't physically see you, you can see me, that I see you, I witness you, and I am present to what's happening, and am looking forward to hopefully connecting with you through this online course or at some other point in your personal development or self-exploration journey. So that's my intention. And as you are watching and listening to this, why don't you take a moment to think about what's your intention? What would you like to gain, learn, know, recall, remember after participating in this introduction webinar on resiliency for women leaders? I'll give you a moment to just settle into that and see what pops up for you. All right. So For this online Start Within, Finish Strong course on resiliency, here is your mission. Of course, if you decide to accept it. It's to rediscover and reconnect to your inner confidence, your inner endurance, your inner resilience in 7 weeks or less, so you can bounce back from any setback, any difficulty, stronger, more optimistic, and more able to handle life's uncertainties. And you'll notice that I said rediscover and reconnect. I believe that you do have inner self-confidence, endurance, and resilience. And maybe something has happened, a breakup, a divorce, a job loss, a transition, a move. Something's happened that's gotten in the way, that's blocked you from seeing, feeling, knowing, and embodying this. And my goal is to help you to rediscover that, to reconnect to it, so that you can bounce back from the next setback or challenge. Because they say that life happens while we're busy making plans, right? So planning and strategizing is important. I am so for that, as well as healing and recovering, recouping, rejuvenating from situations that throw us off course, that make us feel like we're less than. You know, there is a lot happening in our world today with Me Too, and whether or not survivors are believed. There's a lot happening with regards to connections across all lines, racial lines, gender lines, socioeconomic lines. And so often we may have experiences, particularly as women, where we have internalized someone else's negative opinions or perceptions of ourselves and our abilities. And that's why I say rediscover and reconnect, because this is what this is about. It's not about gaining it because you didn't have it or don't have it. It's about reconnecting to it because you do have it and it is possible. And that's my mission for you to choose to accept by engaging in this journey with me. So I wanted to start off with a little bit of, I won't call it a quiz. I'd say it's a check-in. It's a self-check-in. So you'll see that there are 3 statements on the screen that connect to your inner confidence, resilience, and endurance. And what I want you to do is to read each of the statements, and on a scale of 1 to 5, rate where you are right now. And no shame, no judgment. Knowledge is power. So the first statement is, in a crisis or chaotic situation, I calm myself and am able to take useful action. So on a scale of 1 to 5, how would you rate yourself with that statement? In a crisis or a chaotic situation, I am able to calm myself to focus on taking useful actions. 1 to 5. Now, the second statement, I can tolerate high levels of ambiguity and uncertainty about situations. So again, rate yourself from 1 to 5. Where would you say that you are right now? I can tolerate high levels of ambiguity and uncertainty about situations. Where are you now on a scale of 1 to 5? And the last statement, I'm able to recover emotionally from losses and setbacks. Last time, rate yourself from 1 to 5. Thinking for yourself where you are now, I'm able to recover emotionally from losses and setbacks. Rate yourself on the scale of 1 to 5. So you might imagine that these are three aspects of behaviors or traits or characteristics or abilities that connect to resilience. And so wherever you are right now is okay. And what I want to share with you is one, we can always enhance or improve. Two, we can always learn a little bit more because self knowledge and awareness is power. And three, what we will dive into more deeply in the course is a bit how that these statements or how your resilience might vary according to different situations, whether that's personal situations, professional situations. I guess those are the two main categories or two main buckets. So we're going to be revisiting this assessing of your resilience at the start of the course and also then again at the end of the course just to see your progress. And there are a bunch more questions that are included in your resiliency quiz, and that's one of the tools that I'll be sharing with you should you choose to accept the mission of joining us starting on October 29th for the online resiliency course. Awesome. So, why resilience? I thought that I would share with you a little bit of my journey as it relates to resilience and why I even thought to do a course like this. So, one of the things I've realized is that by creating a course on resilience, it's actually, I won't say forced me, but encouraged me, if you will, to really look back on my own experiences, situations that I've overcome or I've gotten over or I've been able to gotten over in a good way, not like getting over on someone, but like getting over, overcoming, triumphing, succeeding, thriving. Um, and what I realize is that, right, we don't necessarily love to chat or talk about the challenges, right? We want to go from like, I was successful and then I was successful again, right? We don't talk about those valleys in between. So for me, you know, my journey around resilience has gone from uh, being evicted from an apartment and having to find a new place to live. Um, Back before I started my business, being downsized or right sized or whatever they call it, from two different jobs within the space of a year and having to reinvent myself and get clear on what's important to me and really reassess my skills. And actually, after the second time of being whatever sized, is when I actually launched the beginnings of my business, the beginnings of InStep Consulting. And so really having to dig deep and think about, okay, what is it that I enjoy doing? And can I find a way to make money at it? And I remember that first year, like I gave myself a year to see what I could do. And I said, you know, if I'm not homeless, and this wasn't around the same time of the eviction, it was those are two separate instances. Thank goodness. It was like, all right, if I'm not homeless, if, you know, the lights are still on and, you know, I'm able to feed myself, right? Like really basic needs, right? and I'm also having an impact and serving clients and all of that, that's when I'll decide that this first year has been successful. And it was challenging and it was tough. And even getting over the whatever sizings in jobs was tough, right? Having to train my successor, the next person that was going to be taking over all of my consulting accounts in the old company. So, as I've been going through developing and this Start Within methodology that I'm going to share with you in a few moments, I started to really think about, and I was actually prompted by one of my former coaches. She kept saying to me, like, what is it that you do? What is it that's, important to you? How do you help people? And it was really starting to come around this message of start within first, which was like going within and getting quiet and reconnecting to self and mindfulness. And then as I continued on that journey of developing the system, I realized the flip side of that, if you will, was this finish strong, right? So you go within, you start within so that you can finish stronger than you were before. And that's really how I've come to this moment of here we are now, which is being able to share this Start Within, Finish Strong online course for women leaders in resiliency. And, on the personal side, having had to overcome, breakups and relationship endings and, what I should be or where I should be when it comes to having successful love relationships and balancing that with managing and launching and running business and programs, right? So there are all these moments in life where I've been able to utilize the process that I'm going to be sharing with you. So this is the techniques, like I mentioned earlier, emotional freedom technique, stress management, plus this whole methodology. It's not just theory. There are concepts that support the ideas that I'll be sharing. It's also been my roadmap towards success and my roadmap towards being able to bounce back from difficult situations. And I really thought that would be important for you to know that I am walking the talk. I am walking my talk. I'm not just sharing something like, oh, that's great for you, but I don't do this stuff, right? And that's really important to me. And I feel like that's something that I look for in coaches or mentors or people that I work with, or even other partners, right? That people that believe in and embody the philosophies and the methodologies that they share. So I just wanted to share that as context for what I'm going to reveal to you. Peeling back the onion. Actually, jokingly, I don't know why this just popped into my head, but the question, sort of like, an icebreaker kind of activity of like, what vegetable would you be? And I always used to say that I would be an artichoke, because I thought I love the aspect of peeling layers and getting to the heart and getting to the core. And, onions make you cry. So I thought that artichoke is a better vegetable. Anyway, don't know where that tangent came from, but yes, resilience. I have walked this walk. I walk my talk. I continue to walk my talk. And as you know, the universe often gives more opportunities. It has given me more opportunities to dive deeper on this as I've been releasing information around this course. And I'll share a lot of that stuff once we start getting into the course on October 29th. So I wanted to project forward a little bit and encourage you to think. Actually, no, I encourage you to envision, right? So the words are, can you imagine, right? So put on your dreaming hat or your dreaming cap, your vision board, your visualization skills. And think for a moment, maybe close your eyes. What would you really be able to accomplish if you felt more confident, if you truly appreciated your whole self, all of you, and if you had a full, healthy concept of who you are? Can you imagine what you can accomplish? Anything that comes into mind, what comes to mind as you imagine feeling more confident, appreciating all of you, your whole self, and living from, breathing from, speaking from, acting from a healthy concept of who you are? What could you do? What could you accomplish? Who would you be? And now imagine, what would your life be like if you were able to more easily recover emotionally, and I'd add spiritually, and then also physically, because it's all connected, right? Mind-body connection, from losses and setbacks. What would your life be like? What would you be doing? Who would you be spending time with? Who might you be spending more time with? Who might you be spending less time with? It can work both ways to our advantage. What would that be like? What comes to mind? What thoughts, what images, what dreams come to mind? And it's from that place of possibility that I invite you to consider the information that I'm going to share with you about this online course, and a bird's eye view of the process, the roadmap that can help you get to the finish line of that vision that you just felt, saw, heard, or imagined, right? Because we all intuit, we all tap into our intuition in different ways. So some of us see, some of us feel, some of us hear, some of us get different senses going in this, maybe even smells, right? So from that place of possibility, I'd love for you to continue listening to me from there. So I mentioned the roadmap. And so this is the roadmap that came from my personal journey with resilience, as well as journey to create and embody this system of start within to finish strong. And so what I want to do is just give you a very, very bird's eye, high level, 50,000 foot overview of what this experience will be like as it connects to the process, so the 7 steps of the Start Within process, and how that can connect to improving or enhancing your resiliency. So helping you to bounce back from challenging, difficult situations. So we really start at the core, the foundation. So the first step in that first process within that first week, week of October 29th, it's about start within. So it's really about finding specific practices, techniques to help you get still, to help you to get quiet, to help you to remove the distractions, so that you can really reconnect again to this inner self, this inner wisdom. I believe strongly that we know that we have the answers. So as your coach, I am your guide. I'm one of your accountability partners. I'm one of your supportive resources. But this is not a, wagging finger, this is what you should do. There are steps, there are processes, there are guides, there are worksheets, all to help you to reconnect to yourself and to be able to get comfortable with hearing that inner voice. And I mentioned the shoulds earlier, right? Sometimes when we have gone through a difficult situation, we spend a lot of time spinning our wheels and we're in the should world. I should have done this, I shouldn't have done that, right? And it's really about how to quiet those voices and really amp up the sense of inner voice, inner wisdom, to really figure out what's next, right? So if you're coming to this course, something has gone wrong, right? So, or something has not worked, or something is stuck, and you're trying to figure out what to do, right? So in this first step, it's about how to step through that, and the way through is in. So that might look like different things, meditation, tapping, all sorts of ways, and for you to find the best way for you to go within. And that's going to help you to be more resilient, because you'll always then be able to come back to that place. I like to call that like your inner sanctuary, right? So no matter what's going on out here, ambiguity, they call it a VUCA world. It's volatility, uncertainty, anxiety, and chaos, right? So there's all these things happening. You always have your inner sanctuary. Then week 2, we're talking about how to nourish your well-being, right? So I'm a strong proponent of self-care. Those of you might be familiar with our 7-day Start Within Self-Care Challenge. So we're going to, again, look at what are the ways that you can nourish your well-being. Because again, when we've experienced a difficult situation or a setback or a challenge or a loss, right? We cope in different ways, and some of those ways are healthy and they are awesome and they're supportive, and yes, we want to amp those up. And maybe some of the ways that we cope aren't so healthy, right? So again, self-knowledge, self-awareness is power, to look at what are the ways that we cope and how can we enhance, how can we improve, so that we can nourish ourselves, body, mind, and spirit. And this is going to help us to be more resilient, because again, we've got a stronger foundation, we've got a stronger core, right? We're grounded, we're centered, we're not wavering. We can weather the storm, right? Like think of trees in the hurricane, right? The roots go deep into the ground, right? So even sometimes when the tree gets blown over, right? Like it's interesting to see the difference of the trees that get blown over, roots up on the ground, versus ones that maybe lose branches and lose leaves, right? There's a difference. So how do we get more grounded? How do we get more centered, again, so that we can weather the storms of life? Then step 3, week 3, is all about clarifying priorities. And that's what's important to you. And it may seem simple. I don't know, like this isn't rocket science in a way, and yet it can be challenging, right? And challenges throughout this process are okay. And we're going to hit roadblocks and stumbling blocks even while going through this course. And I want you to know that that's okay. And in essence, this is about also re-clarifying perhaps priorities, right? Because if something has gone wrong, or something has not worked, or something has ended, right? So maybe we need to think about what are what's important now? What's changed since before, right? So where we are today, what's important to me now? And then I can be better able to think about tasks to do, like I said, people to spend time with, whether that's more time or less time, right? But then again, it's this sense of being clear and on mission and on focus and on target about what's important, right? And that's going to help us to be more resilient because we can better recognize distractions. We can better recognize slight distractions or things that take us slightly off course, right? So it's like you think, when you're driving or riding and there's a detour, right? It doesn't mean necessarily that the destination changes. It just means that the way that you get there might change, right? But if you know that that's your destination and that's your goal and that's your purpose, the clearer you are about that, the more able you are to navigate those detours and still get to where you want to go. Step four, or week 4 is actually about how to act intentionally. And this is it's foundational to me. Taking the word say conscious action, right? So as much as possible, how can we be proactive? Again, recognizing, and we're going to talk about this in a couple of moments about how we stay in flow, right? But taking conscious action towards the goals, towards our purpose, acting in favor of our purpose, acting in favor of our intentions, acting in favor of our desires, right? That's what this is all about, right? And so that we can feel, again, more grounded. We can feel like, okay, there was a misstep, there was a hurdle. It's like when you trip, right? You trip and maybe even you fall, right? You get up, you dust yourself back off, and okay, what did I learn? Where do I need to walk? How do I walk differently? Do I need to take my shoes off, right? Like, so it's taking these intentional actions, and that's going to help us to be more resilient because, well, we've hopefully developed or redeveloped or reconnected to our confidence to take these action steps. And so it's about taking action, even sometimes when we don't know what's at the end of the road, but still trusting, right? Because trusting that we're listening to our inner voice, we're trusting that we're grounded in a well-being state, we're grounded in what's important to us, and so we can take steps, we can take risks even, because it's from a place of intention. It's not just like spaghetti throwing and seeing what sticks. It's based on, what's important and where we have our best guess as to where we're going to go. Week 5 is all about communicating impactfully, right? So, and this is about how do we vocalize both internally and externally. So this is around assertiveness. How do we assertiveness and confidence, right? How do we confidently ask for what we need? How do we confidently ask for help? How do we confidently ask for support? How do we confidently set boundaries, right? How do we, because setting boundaries and figuring out what's important to say no to, right? Or who is important for us to say no or set boundaries or set guidelines, right? Because again, all of that helps us to be more resilient, right? So it's the inner confidence, it's the inner resilience, it's the inner endurance, and then it's how do we act from that place so that we communicate and we share and we ask in a way that has greater impact, both for ourselves and for others around us, right? And that's going to help us to be more resilient because we are clear with ourselves and then we're clear with others, right? So there's alignment, there's continuity, there's consistency there, and that can feel more safe, that can feel more secure, right? Because we're, as I said at the start, right, it's speaking and acting from a place of intention and integrity. And so that's what this week, or that step, is all about. And then week 6 is about staying in flow, right? So this is about mindfulness, and this is about resiliency, right? So how do we let go of the negative self-talk and the doubt that creep in, right? I always say that, affirmations, a great component, particularly when we're thinking about the last step, about how to communicate our confidence to ourselves, right? But every once in a while, right, isn't there a little voice that may come in there? You're like, I am powerful, I am strong. And there's this little voice that goes, yeah, no, you're not, right? So we're going to talk about where that, what that is and where that comes from, and what are some tips and techniques that can help deal with that. And I already mentioned one of them. So secrets out, one of them is EFT, but also other ways of being able to stay in flow with ourselves. So stay in flow internally. This is another sort of internal step, so that we're maybe less shocked or less surprised by surprises. I mean, I don't know that we can be fully, not surprised. And I don't even know if that's good either, right? Because we still want to be present, right? So we don't want to pull ourselves out so much that we're so detached, we're so removed that everything happens over there. And it's like, yeah, whatever. We don't want to be there. We want to be in it. We want to be present. And we also want to be able to, I don't know, it's like a bob and weave, being able to course correct when we need to, right? And this is towards the end of the course, right? So it builds on each of the previous steps that enable us to have that sense of stability, that sense of like, oop, we're zigging. Okay, no, we're zagging. Okay, we're going. And then last but not least, week 7 is about integrating, right? So it's about how is it that when you consistently follow the 7 steps of the process, that you're able to live more mindfully, and hence that you're able to be more resilient, more confident, have greater endurance, greater stamina, both mentally, emotionally, and also physically, right? Because the stronger our mind, then we decide that we want to take different actions with our bodies, right? So it's all about body, mind, spirit. So that's the high level overview of the Start Within, Finish Strong 7-week course on resiliency. And I'm really excited to bring this course to women, again, like I said, in light of all that's happening, for those of us who are, in transition, for those of us who have experienced personal setbacks or losses, career or business setbacks or losses, and really want to make 2019 different and perhaps better. I hesitate sometimes around those qualitative judgments, right? Because like I said earlier, we do want to be present to everything and also grateful for things. But I'll put it differently, that we don't want to necessarily take the energy of these setbacks, these losses, these disappointments, these failures into the next season or into the next year, right? We want to clear them. We want to heal them. We want to bless and release them. Then this is a course that can help you to do that. And again, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to be able to reconnect to all of that confidence, endurance, and resilience that you already have, so that you can bounce back from any setback or difficulty in 2019 stronger, more capable, and more able to do it. So what's the experience going to be like? So the experience will be, some of the experience will be similar to this in a way, in that there will be facilitated group Zoom sessions where there will be some slides, some worksheets, some tip sheets, content for each of the weeks. Also, we're also going to have an online community, because I think it's really important for us to be able to share with one another. And I think it's important for you to be able to share with the other women who are going through the experience, right? Because we learn from each other. So you will learn from each other, not just from me or the information that I have to share. You can all learn from each other. You can also be able to share your wins and share your successes and share those days where it's just like, ah, right? Because we all have those days. And how cool is it to have a safe space where you can, like I say, take the cape off and just be you, right? Be all of you. So I am totally here and able and willing to hold space for all of you and see you and witness you in your whole self. And I'd like to create that safe community for all of us to do that together. There are going to be feedback loops, right? So as I'm sharing content, I want to improve the experience each time that I deliver this experience. So I'll be asking you for thoughts, feedback, input, comments, suggestions, what's working, what's not working, so that we can continue to level up this experience. I want you to have wins, and I want every woman who goes through this course, this experience in the future, to have even more wins. Accountability buddies, it's something that I've really appreciated in the coaching programs that I've been a part of, being able to not just in the group experience be able to have accountability, but also to pair up one-to-one, or sometimes I've done it either pairs or threes, depending on if we have an odd or an even number of women, but really being able to dive a little bit more deeply and again, take the cape, open the kimono, take the cape off, and be able to share experiences and wins and challenges and successes on an ongoing basis. You'll have email access to me as your coach and guide through this experience. And I'm going to share tons of supportive resources. And again, wanting to get your feedback and input on which resources are most helpful, so that again, that this experience for you is it's a successful experience, and that you know, when we take that resiliency quiz in the beginning and the resiliency quiz in the end, right, you know, that's just one marker of like progress and transformation, but I want you to experience ongoing transformation throughout the whole process. So this is the slide that has the registration link, which takes you directly to the booking site on our website to be able to book and enroll in the course. And we're thinking of what the goodies are going to be for the first person, or the first couple of people, the first 3 people who enroll in the course. And I'm working on some goodies, some giveaways. So stay tuned for more info on that. So incentives, and they will be items and tools and resources that can help you really get started on this resiliency journey. So I am excited. Sorry, my brain is like moving 1,000 miles a minute. I'm like, what else do I need to share? So, so the investment is $4.99 for the 7-week online course. If you decide to choose to accept this mission, there is also the opportunity for a 2 installment payment plan. So the website, you can book, pay the $4.99 up front. We'll welcome you in, excited, woohoo! And if you'd like to do installments, it's like $269.46, 2 installments. Email us, and we can get that transaction done for you and welcome you also. Yay! Congratulations and welcome. So I'm really excited to start this journey with you, to lead and guide you through this journey, to get your feedback, to get your input on how, what the tips and tools and techniques and supportive resources, how they're working for you. I'm really excited to help start connecting and building this community, because my vision is I'm based in New York and I do live events here in New York, and the decision to do this online is because I want to reach women outside of New York City as well, and I want to be able to share this start within, finish strong journey with women around the country, around the world. So if you know of other women who have had a tough 2018, just like, ugh, right? Personal loss, personal trauma, professional setback, job loss, job transition, and who really wants to reconnect, right? Reconnect and rediscover inner confidence, inner endurance, and inner resilience, so she can bounce back from setbacks and difficulties stronger and more resilient than ever, then please share this course information. And it would be cool to sign up with someone as a buddy. And that could be a really great and exciting thing, which is making me think of another offer. So, all right, as I keep talking with you, more ideas are popping into my head. I'm so excited for this experience, for you, to get to know you, to get to meet you. So please visit the site. And also please email if you have questions. If you want to set up a one-on-one, I'm happy to do a one-on-one activation call to learn more about what's your specific situation and how this course can be helpful for you, or if there are other ways that I can support you on your self-exploration journey. So thank you. Thank you for taking the time for you, investing in yourself, to spend this time with me today. And I look forward to seeing you in the course starting on October 29th. So thank you, be well, and we'll be in touch again soon. Hi, I wanted to thank you for listening to this episode of the Start Within, Finish Strong podcast to empower women. Wanted to give you a little bit more information on how you can enroll in the upcoming online course for Resiliency for Women Leaders. If you go to startwithincoaching.com, and at the top banner, you can click on Services, and you'll see more information on the 7-week Start Within, Finish Strong course, and you can click Book It, and that will take you to our Book Online page. If you'd like to learn more or set up a one-on-one conversation, send an email to info@instepconsulting.com, or leave a voice message on this podcast, and with your name, email, and phone number, and we will get back in touch with you. Look forward to seeing you online on October 29th.